I'm in the Sahara Desert in Mauritania in Africa, and one of the most interesting relationships between any two places in the world is that of the Sahara Desert and the Amazon rainforest. Every year, hundreds of millions of tons of sand are blown across the Atlantic Ocean, and every single year, 30 million tons of this phosphorus-rich sand lands in the Amazon basin, acting as a fertilizer for the rainforest, causing it to grow bigger and greener. And it seems to work really well. I'm in the Amazon, in the small South American country of Suriname. Please press subscribe to follow my adventures around the world, and press the bell icon to receive a notification when a new video is released every week. So I've come to Suriname because, well, why not? It's quite a difficult country to get to for Australians, since Suriname doesn't issue visas on arrival, and they also don't have a lot of embassies. So to get a visa, I had to pay a tour company to sponsor me, and then to get a flight from South America isn't the easiest either. While there are plenty of flights between Suriname and Amsterdam, flights to other South American countries are very few and far between. I arrived via Belém in Brazil. Paramaribo is the capital city, and is the capital city in the world with the second coolest name. Paramaribo, and by extension Suriname, is a different planet and one of the most unique places I've ever visited. The architecture is old colonial style, which gives the impression of being back in time, and the waterfront, or riverfront, is the place to go for a relaxing beer and a bite to eat. It gets a little bit sketchy at night though, lots of drunk people, and I did meet a few aggressive beggars, and although I never felt unsafe, Paramaribo does feel a bit dodgy in some parts. Otherwise, Paramaribo has a very chilled out vibe that reminds me most of Southeast Asia. Suriname identifies as a Caribbean country, and it's a part of the Caribbean community, but the country is nowhere near the Caribbean Sea. The people are extremely diverse, there's no ethnic majority, and are a blend of Chinese, Indian, Javanese, Caribbean, African, and then the occasional white guy and indigenous Amerindian. And they all speak Dutch in South America. It's a bit weird. Except not everyone does speak Dutch. Javanese and Hindi are somewhat spoken, but the common language is actually called Sranan Tongo, which is a Creole language that's based on English. Religion is also incredibly diverse, again with no majority. The Catholic Basilica in Paramaribo is the largest wooden structure in the Western Hemisphere. And there's also the unique site where a mosque and a synagogue are next door neighbours. They even share the same parking facilities during busy times. Then you have a very prominent Hindu population as well, with the temple itself being an amalgamation of Hindu architecture and the French colonial architecture that defines Paramaribo. And then Suriname drives on the left side of the road as well, just to be different from the rest of the Americas, I guess. The national sport is bird singing. Surinamese people raise songbirds, and these birds are raised with the utmost care. They go with their owners everywhere, to the office, to the markets, and even onto boats. To compete, two male birds are put close together, and whichever sings the longest and the most beautifully wins. It's quite cool seeing a training session, and it's certainly a very unique part of Surinamese culture. A prize-winning songbird can cost several $1,000s. So I decided to leave Paramaribo and visit an old plantation in Frederiksdorp, and I somehow agreed to cycle the 20 kilometers, though since I haven't ridden a bike in 10 years, I opted to walk through the especially high traffic areas. Then I had to cross the mighty Suriname and Komiwine rivers, which is a great experience, and I got to see some river dolphins, and then cycle again through Frederiksdorp, an area with thankfully no cars, to arrive at the plantation where I was spending the night.
They say you never forget how to ride a bike. That's fucking bullshit. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not sure whether the fact that I'm not dead is a relief or a disappointment, because I've still got a mile to go.
So after that nightmare of a commute, I'm at Plantation Frederiksdorp, which I was expecting to be an interesting historical site, and it is. But more importantly, it is a luxury resort, which I was not expecting.
Okay, so I've set up a mosquito net over my bed. I don't think I've done it properly. But it's not to keep mosquitoes out. The mosquitoes, well, they're everywhere, don't seem to be biting me that much. But I have found a multitude of frogs in my room, and 2 of them have made their way into my bed. So this is kind of a frog net for tonight.
After another day of cycling back to Paramaribo, it was time to venture into the Amazon to hopefully see some wildlife and get to meet some locals. Getting to the interior is a real adventure. First you have to do the 3-hour drive to the river town of Antgeon, where you have to wait around for several hours until a shared taxi boat is ready to leave. There's not much in Antgeon, just a couple of supermarkets. So the best thing to do while you wait is to grab a traditional Jogo, that's a litre bottle of beer. And I think you're meant to share it with friends, but luckily I don't have any friends. The boat ride is not particularly comfortable. There's no protection from the sun or the rain. The river can be extremely shallow in the dry season, so navigation around rocks and up rapids can be cumbersome. But at the same time, it's a really great way to see Suriname. As you progress up the river, the boat will pick up and drop off passengers and cargo, so you can see lots of traditional villages as well as jungle. The boat ride to my jungle hotel near the Morone village of Bodapasi took roughly 4 hours. The Morones are the people who live in the interior and live according to their traditions, but they are not indigenous to Suriname. They were originally escaped slaves, so they actually live to African traditions because this is Suriname and things are weird like that. The Morones are actually fascinating. They escaped from sugar plantations, waged war with the Europeans, and negotiated peace and freedom for themselves long before the abolition of slavery. The villages are as diverse as the rest of Suriname. There are Christian churches and people who live very traditionally, and even a Rastafarian community who are great woodcarvers. Seriously, Suriname has got to be the most diverse place on the planet. It's awesome and it results in very good food, but it gets confusing. I was staying in a hotel right on the river and ventured into the rainforest. My wildlife videography skills are appalling, but the place was teeming with life. After very little luck with filming in the forest itself, I decided to call it a day and just shoot the various animals I could find around camp. Then I decided to give up completely and spend my time relaxing.
Welcome to my swimming pool for the day. Apparently there is a caiman in the pool where I am currently sitting, so I'm going to try and find him.
I was told I'd have better luck finding a caiman at night, so we hopped in the boat and set out into the rainy evening to try and find some. After very little time of searching, we caught our first glimpse of movement, and then after that we found plenty, and some of them were even nice enough to pose for video. I was disappointed when it came time to leave. I'd become very used to being able to relax in the river with a beer and falling asleep to the sound of monkeys and birds in the background.
Well, the rainforest certainly lives up to its name.
But it was time to get back to Paramaribo and on with my travels. Thanks for watching this generic travel vlog. Please make sure to like, subscribe and all that jazz. If you're ever in Suriname, I definitely recommend making the effort to go visit Hotel Bodapasi, but give yourself a few days there because the journey there and back is arduous to say the least, and it takes a full day each way. For something a bit more luxurious and closer to Paramaribo, Plantage Frederiksdorp is great, and with all the creature comforts you need, and you don't actually have to cycle there, you can get a boat directly to the front door. Happy travels!